Buying your first home is a major milestone and an exciting journey, but if you're new to it, you're probably feeling overwhelmed by all the moving pieces. The lender will tell you to start the process with them. The realtor says you need an agent, and online resources are telling you to get pre-approved before you even open Zillow. With so much conflicting advice, it's hard to know where to begin. In this video, I aim to simplify the entire process, walking you through each step from setting your budget to signing the final papers. The first step in the home buying process is to start with neither the lender nor the realtor. It starts with you. It starts with setting a realistic budget. What is a monthly payment that you can realistically afford? Realistically is a key word here because sure, the lender will approve you for a big loan, but just because they're willing to lend you a certain amount does not mean that's the right amount for you. You want to avoid stretching yourself too thin financially. So start by taking an honest look at your monthly expenses. Think about everything you spend on: rent, utilities, groceries, car payments, subscriptions, hobbies, and even dining out or travel plans. In my opinion, and generally speaking, your total housing costs, including mortgage payments, property taxes, and homeowners insurance, should stay within 30 to 35% of your monthly take-home pay on a 30-year mortgage. With this guideline, you make sure that you enjoy homeownership without having to pinch pennies every month. Next up is credit. Your credit score is a huge factor in securing a mortgage and getting a good interest rate. Ideally, you want to aim for a score of at least 620 to be able to access most loan programs. But scores above 740 often qualify for the best rates. Do whatever you can to get as close to 740 as possible. A high score doesn't just help you get approved, it can save you thousands of dollars in interest over the life of the loan. If your score could use a little work, there are steps you can take to boost it. Focus on paying down high balances, keeping up with current payments, and avoiding new debt. Every improvement, even small ones, can positively impact your rate and overall loan terms. With your credit and budget in mind, the next step is to save for your home down payment and closing costs. Closing costs usually cover things like loan origination fees, title insurance, and appraisals that can typically range between 2% and 5% of the home's purchase price. So if you're buying a $300,000 home, closing costs should be anywhere from $6,000 to $15,000. I think I did the math right there. Some buyers negotiate with the seller to cover parts of these costs, but it's always advisable to be prepared to handle these costs yourself. Next, the down payment. Most people assume that they need 20% upfront, but that's a myth for first-time home buyers. Most loan programs for first-time home buyers allow you to put down as little as 3%, and some even have 0% down options like VA and USDA loans. However, if you're able to save more, that can be beneficial. A larger down payment lowers your monthly mortgage amount and helps you avoid private mortgage insurance or PMI, which is typically required on conventional loans with less than 20% down. This is the stage where you need to understand the different types of loan programs that are out there. And this is the stage where you want to approach a lender or multiple lenders to see which option works best for you. I would suggest you reach out to a lender before you involve your real estate agent at all. With a lender, you know exactly how much you can afford and what loan program will work best for you and your unique situation. Each loan program has its own unique down payment requirements, monthly costs, and eligibility criteria. Conventional loans are very common amongst first-time home buyers. They typically require a higher credit score, often 620 or above. Down payments can start as little as 3%. But if you put down less than 20%, you will likely have to pay private mortgage insurance or PMI, which would add to your monthly cost. Why go conventional? Because they typically have lower overall interest, especially for borrowers with solid credit. For those with lower credit scores or smaller savings, FHA loans are a popular choice, with down payments as low as 3.5% and more flexible credit requirement. FHA loans come with mortgage insurance premium or MIP, which is similar to PMI but mandatory regardless of the down payment size. Then, if you're an eligible military service member or spouse, a VA loan might be ideal. VA loans require no down payment and don't include PMI, which makes them highly affordable. This, by the way, is the best loan option out there if you qualify. Finally, USD loans are available for qualifying rural and suburban areas. And just like VA loans, USDA loans allow for 0% down and typically offer lower interest rates, but they do have income limits, so something to keep in mind. So if you work with a lender, know your options. There are many loan programs out there, and this stage in itself can feel overwhelming. So having a lender by your side to walk you through this process can be very useful. And this is the stage where you want to get pre-approval or pre-approvals from from different lenders. Pre-approval gives you a clearer idea of how much you can borrow and makes your offer more attractive to the sellers. The lender will review your income, your debt, and credit score to give you a specific loan amount. Having a pre-approval letter in your hand shows the seller that you are serious and financially prepared, which can be especially important in a competitive market where homes sell quickly. And here's a tip: don't settle for the first lender you speak to. Mortgage rates and fees vary from lender to lender, so it's worth taking the time to find the best deal. Recently, this one gentleman shared his loan details, and this one lender was charging them a 3% loan origination fee. That's not normal. A 1% origination fee is usually the norm, so shop around. You have a 45-day window where multiple mortgage inquiries only count as a single inquiry on your credit report. So get a quote from at least 2 lenders at a minimum. With your pre-approval letter in your hand, this is the time where you want to start working with a real estate agent. A good agent can make the entire process so much easier. They negotiate with the seller and manage the mountain of paperwork that comes with buying a home. Your agent is your guide and your advocate. So you want someone knowledgeable, experienced, and easy to communicate with. Look for someone who understands your needs, is familiar with the area you're interested in, and has experience working with first-time buyers. An agent who's experienced in, let's say, foreclosure homes or commercial properties may not be ideal in this situation. You want someone who works with first-time home buyers on a daily basis. With all this work and with the pre-approval letter in your hand, you are finally ready to start house hunting. This is the fun part, but this is also where you need to stay practical. Start by making a list of must-haves and nice-to-haves. Must-haves are essential features that you're not willing to compromise on. Things like the number of bedrooms, commute time, or being in a particular school district. I know school district is a big one for me. Nice-to-haves are things that would be great to have but aren't deal breakers, like a big backyard, open floor plan, or updated kitchen. When you start touring homes, you will notice that photos can be deceiving. Some homes may look perfect in pictures, but feel completely different in person. Also, don't forget to explore the neighborhood at different times of the day. Does it feel safe and welcoming? Are there parks, grocery stores, or coffee shops nearby? These factors can make a big difference in how you feel about the home in the long run. This process could take a day or few months, but once you find a home that feels right, it's time to make an offer. This can be the most exciting and nerve-wracking part of the process. Your agent will help you determine a fair offer price based on factors like home condition, comparable sales in the area, and the current market. But remember, your offer isn't just about the price. You will also include terms like the down payment, closing timeline, and any contingencies. Contingencies are conditions that must be met for the sale to go through, such as satisfactory home inspection or appraisal. These are there to protect you, so while it may be tempting to waive contingencies in a hot market, I would recommend that you always include them, especially when you're buying home for the first time. Now, say the offer is accepted. Now you enter the due diligence period. This is a time when you will want to conduct a thorough inspection of the home. Hire a certified home inspector to check everything from the roof and the foundation to the plumbing and the electrical systems. I recently paid an inspector $450 for a 1900 square feet home here in Dallas, Texas. So depending on where you live and the size of the house, you could be looking at anywhere from $300 to $800. The inspector will give you a report detailing any issues they find, from minor cosmetic flaws to potential deal breakers. If major issues are discovered, you have options. You can ask the seller to fix them, negotiate a price reduction, or even back out of the deal if necessary. This inspection period is your chance to make sure the home is sound, so take it seriously and don't hesitate to ask questions or request repairs. While you're handling inspections, your lender moves your loan into underwriting. Underwriting is the final step in securing your loan, where the lender thoroughly examines your financial history to verify that you can afford the mortgage. It may feel intrusive, but it's a necessary step to protect both you and the lender. During underwriting, the lender will also order an appraisal to ensure that the home's value aligns with your offer. This protects the lender from lending more than the property is worth, but it also protects you from overpaying. If the appraisal comes in lower than your offer price, you may need to renegotiate with the seller or make up for the difference yourself. As you approach closing, you will have one last option to check the property with a final walkthrough. This is typically done a day or two before closing and allows you to confirm that everything is as expected and any agreed upon repairs have been completed. Test the faucets, the lights, and appliances to make sure they are functioning properly, and check for any last-minute surprises. If you spot any issues, let your agent know immediately so they can work with the seller to address them before closing. Finally, the big day arrives, the closing day. You will meet at the title company or the attorney's office to sign the final documents. This includes your mortgage agreement, the deed transfer, and closing disclosure, which breaks down all the costs and the terms of your loan. Bring any funds required for the down payment and closing costs, typically a cashier's check or wire transfer. Don't rush through this process. Take your time to review each document and don't hesitate to ask questions. Once everything is signed, the title is transferred and you will receive the keys to your new home. Congratulations, you are officially a homeowner. By now, you can see just how important the roles of a reliable real estate agent and a fair and transparent lender are in this entire journey. Having the right team can make all the difference between a smooth, memorable experience and a stressful one. I've seen it go both ways. Lenders who promise a rate but change it last minute for unreasonable reasons, or agents who are impossible to reach when you need them the most. That's why it's worth taking the time to do your research and find people that you can trust.